Welcome to the Leader Equation. I am Linzee Ciprani, and I am joined here with two wonderful ladies, two powerhouses, obviously. And we're going to have a little bit of a different tone today because there's some upheaval happening in our world. And so I'm really excited to get to episode number 22 here. But first and foremost, I'm Linzee Ciprani. I'm the CEO of Ciprani Consulting. We're the top recruiting and consulting firm in the country for all things real estate. I'm here with my lovely co-host, Christy Grossman, CEO of Ops Boss Coaching and the ultimate resource for training and coaching in real estate ops bosses. And of course, we've got Vija Williams here, who needs no introduction, but Vija, in case you don't know her, is the director of growth for Kinney Brokerages and leads more than 1,300 agents. She also happens to live in Kirkland, Washington, bless her heart, ground zero of COVID-19 in the US. And so we are going to talk all things leadership around this chaos that we are in. But before we do that, Christy, go ahead.
I just wanted to welcome you, those of you who have not been with us before on the Leader Equation. So we normally are chatting with entrepreneurs and their shotgun leaders. I know we have a lot of entrepreneurs and ops people on the call today. And we're talking about what adds to the leadership formula, what subtracts, what divides, and most importantly, what multiplies the results. Today we have a little bit of a different special edition. I'm going to challenge you guys. I'm hearing so much anxiety around the country, around this issue. So I want you to take your phone notes out, your laptop out, your paper out, put a number 1 through 4. I want you to write down mindset, family, team, and business. Mindset, family, team, and business. And our goal today is that you're going to have one item in each of those things that you can take action on, because action cures anxiety. And there's no one I know better than to talk about this than my friend Vija Williams. So we are just going to dive right in. Let's do this, guys.
Yeah. So Vija, walk us through, I know there's a couple things that you wanted to start us off with, and I think it'd be good to give you the floor here because it's been a little bit crazy.
Yeah, thanks. Really, I'm really grateful to be here because I know that while we're all focused, number one, first and foremost, on our family's health and our health, the economic impact of this and what I'm watching my fellow leaders go through behind the scenes is something that has to be addressed, because this is a marathon, not a sprint. Seth Campbell really helped me turn a corner when he posted something on Facebook on Wednesday. And what he said on Wednesday was, just about today and tomorrow and over the next few days, we're going to see the people who are treating this like a sprint collapse and crumble in business. He was talking about in business. And those of us who know that we have to settle in for the marathon, we're going to thrive in this. And I just made a decision to thrive in this. We're all wired differently. For whatever reason, leading in crisis is something that I thrive in. And it doesn't mean that I don't have pits in my stomach, and it doesn't mean that I am not constantly focused on all of the livelihoods that I feel responsible for. But I immediately, it's just how we're all wired differently, and I work well under pressure. I just do. So when Seth printed that, I was pretty fried at the time on Wednesday, quietly fried. I was lying to everyone and had a smile on my face. And I grabbed my colleague, Christy Webster, and I said, we're going for a walk around the block. I want you guys to know, I work a lot. I do not take walks around the block. I also want you to know it was a sunny day in Seattle, which is amazing. And so Christy and I walked around the block for about 20 minutes, and I don't know what happened, and I came back a new person. And from then on, I just made a decision that, just because we're in a crappy situation doesn't mean we have to feel crappy. I don't have to feel crappy to show that I care about my people. What I can actually feel encouraged and positive and excited about the upturn. I don't have to feel crappy, to show my people that I care about them, right? Which sounds weird, but I think sit with that a minute, right? I think sometimes we tell ourselves that, if I really care about people, I need to feel bad because I need to feel stress for their jobs and stress for them. And I just made a decision that I didn't have to. And I have to tell you, I had the best day that I have had since the crisis hit yesterday. My team did. I issued my team leaders a challenge. Same with my MCAs. Everybody put on their battle armor, and we just sort of turned a corner as a team yesterday, right? Mm-hmm. So I just wanted to share that story because this is a marathon. Mm-hmm. Ben Kinney always says success is survival. We are going to rebound from this. We're going to be okay. There is a light at the end of this tunnel, unlike when we all went through that 2008 through 2011 and it felt indefinite and forever. And, all we have to do is survive the next 2 to 4 months businesses, right? That's all we have to focus on. So
what you said is really important, Vija, that you've had to change as a leader how you are responding to things very differently than if you were just on a team or working for someone else. We have different roles and responsibilities as a leader, speed of the leader, speed of the pack, right? And so my question to you on that, I know you're going to give us some other tactics. How are you leading versus pushing and dragging people behind you?
Yeah, I mean, I think that that's a long answer, and I'd like to go through some of that today. First of all, we have to maintain, I really want you guys to hear this. We have to maintain consistency and predictability in an uncertain world. Mm. So we don't want to change too much. We want to keep routines as stable as they can. Even if you're Zooming with someone and their background is in an office, it's a home office. We want to try to keep the morning calls. Lead gen time is lead gen time. Now, what's happening during those times might look different, but we don't want to change too much. So that's the first thing, Christy, is we want to calmly lead, continue business, not as usual, but continue business to be as predictable as possible. I'm finding it's really comforting to all of us that we have this routine it's the one thing we feel like we have control over right now.
Right.
Love that.
There's other things, that I'd love to talk about. One of the things about empowering your people is, I think you need to be constantly communicating with your people right now. Internal communication has never been so important. Leaders, most of your day should be filled right now with touching base with your people one-on-one, in groups, staying very in tune to all of your stakeholders right now. Yeah. So for us, my stakeholders are Ben, and then my ELTs for my executive leadership teams for my market centers, right? So my team leaders and MCAs. And then just this morning, I asked if I could be on our network-wide productivity coaching Zoom. Just wanted to tell them how much I appreciated them. And I really do. I really appreciate everybody right now. We're, constantly trying to insert myself and keep my finger on the pulse. I'm constantly asking for feedback. What are we doing that's good? What are we doing that's not so good? What should we start doing? What should we continue doing? What should we stop doing? Constantly communicating. The other thing I would encourage any leaders here, when you don't want to have a top-down approach, is to have that one-on-one follow-up when you say, hey, we're going to keep the office open, or we're going to close the office. Then just be sure that you're having those one-on-one calls and saying, how do you really feel about this? I don't want you to just nod your head because we said it. How are you really feeling about this? And you need to be a safe place for people to be able to say, you know what, I'm pissed that we're open. I don't want to be open right now, and I'm struggling with it. If I'm constantly trying to really engage and understand what they're really thinking and feeling. And that doesn't mean that we're going to necessarily change a directive, but I want to walk alongside them and try to come up with solutions that work for everybody.
Well, let's make sure, I want to bring clarity to some of that too, because you guys have chosen to stay open and to remain a business. And can you just walk us through what that decision looked like? And I know it didn't come easily.
Well, we're very, very much in business, and staying open is interesting. We're really effectively not really open to the public so much in our offices. If an agent has a client meeting, You know, they need to kind of arrange having him in here. But a large majority of our staff is still coming into the office. We're all, you know, staying on a very strict protocol for social distancing. We have Purell and Clorox wipes. Not everybody's coming in, by the way. We have some, you know, working remote. And the reason is, and it kind of goes back to Christy's question, we all are so committed right now to making sure our agents can weather the storm financially. What's keeping me, you know, in my car and out the door and working every day is keeping everybody's jobs. I feel the weight of people's livelihoods on my shoulders. And that's not just my leadership team, it's our agents. You know, we're very concerned that some of our agents, you know, can't survive if they have a month of no closings, right? Yeah. So it's really, we feel passionately that we have to somehow be here to help them facilitate income coming in. So the way, Christy, that you get a team behind you is you rally, you know, around a vision that's not about you. Yeah. And that's what we're doing. I mean, you could ask any one of my leadership team. I don't know if any of them are watching this right now, and I'm not seeing the interaction because I have you in front of me on Zoom. I can't see the Facebook right now, but if any of my team is watching, you know, and you guys want to comment in, we are all completely driven every day right now, protecting each other's livelihoods, and that includes our agents and all of our staff. That's our one concern. It's what's making all of us get out of bed in the morning right now.
So when did this start for you guys officially? Because you guys were the first ones. So walk everybody through too, because I think it's funneling through, like, right, Pennsylvania's feeling it now. So
so let's walk through it. So we're probably more in a phase 2 mode, and a lot of you guys are kind of in phase 1 of crisis management. And the reason I say that is I'm finding on social media a lot of the things that I'm seeing people work through in private forums and on private message are kind of what we sort of worked through a couple of weeks ago. So we've kind of moved on past that a little bit. And what I mean is, it's a funny story. I came back from the trip of a lifetime for a really big birthday I had. And I landed on Friday, February 28th. And the news dropped of the first unfortunate, horrible, I'm so sad about it, deaths and diagnoses at the Life Care Center in Kirkland, I believe that Sunday night. So I hadn't even come into the office yet. And that's less than a mile from our Kirkland Market Center, our largest market center, my home market center. And, you know, a couple miles away from where I live, where my parents live, where my world is. Yeah. It slowly spread to Seattle. So our Kirkland and our downtown Seattle, West Seattle, and North Seattle offices were affected immediately. So that first week, we were dealing with what a lot of people are dealing with now, that first week of March. It started spreading to, I remember the second week of March. Early in the week, I went to our Marysville office, which is a little bit outlying. And I was all braced because Seattle was just closed down by then. But by then, Kirkland was a ghost town. I'd already done a Facebook story with empty streets. And I went to Marysville, and I'm like ready for the same thing. And they didn't even have Purell in the office. They're like, what? Oh, yeah, this Corona thing, right? So it took a while. Then all of a sudden, it starts hitting. Then I'm like, so about 2 weeks in, it started hitting our outerlying areas, and it's just now starting to hit like our Olympia office, which is our farthest south, and Tacoma, I think, are feeling it not quite as much maybe as some of our other offices. They're probably in alignment with some of the other states. We haven't gone on lockdown here. I don't know why. I think that we've been kind of voluntarily in a quasi shelter in place for longer than anyone. I don't know, maybe every day. I think it's going to change. I don't know. But so we haven't gone through lockdown. Our courts are closed. So we went through what a lot of you guys are going through a few weeks ago. Can we record? Can we close?
Right.
And can I just share something about that, Lindsay? Just kind of wanted to share because that's one of the things I wanted to talk about today. Leaders are defined not by what we think we should do, but what we actually do. And this is a time for action. You know, if there's ever a time to be decisive and to be a leader of action and to be a captain class leader. A lot of us really love the leadership style described in a book called Captain Class. This is the time. I immediately dove in and essentially became a co-team leader to some of our offices, started going on. I have 3 roles right now. I'm just dove in. I know my friend, Sarah Reynolds in Christy's area. Almost immediately when this hit a couple of weeks ago, she just dove into her ISA department. Yeah. She immediately got in the trenches and on the phones doing what she had to do, right, to keep business going forward. That's a team captain leader.
Yeah. So I want to chime in and amplify that. Let's see your amplify cup, Linzee.
Oh, thank you.
I want to amplify that because I know we have a lot of operations people listening to this call. So I want to speak to you operations people. Normally our role is empire protector. We are in a different place right now and we need to speed it up. We need to follow our leaders and we need to move fast. I know that if you are an S personality, you are not loving change. And if you are a C personality, you don't want to make a mistake. And now is a great opportunity for growth to get outside your comfort zone because our leaders need us to step up and move fast to be integrators during this time.
Oh yeah.
Congratulations, all ops people. Right now, you've been promoted. Everybody in the company is in a revenue generating position. We have effectively scrapped all other positions and 100% of us are all right now involved in protecting anything that's in the pipeline closing and helping our agents stay productive and stay alive. Congratulations. There is no such thing as ops anymore. I mean, our team leaders are MCAs, our MCAs are team leaders. There's no titles anymore right now. This is business survival. All we need to do is get through 2 to 4 months and we're going to do it and we can do it together. And then on the other side of that, I truly believe there's going to be pent up demand and that will catch up, right?
Absolutely. Well, let's talk about that because I actually went live the other day about this because I have multiple people saying, I just need to lay off everybody and I just need to get out of this. And, walk us through like, what does that look like? Yeah.
Let's kind of go there. I'd like to pull back a little bit. I want to kind of go through some really important tactics that it's just important for me to get out. And then we can kind of talk about some specific instances like, do you lay off or not? Yeah. However, I will say this, Linzee and Christy. Cash flow is everything right now. Right. Ben Kinney, I was talking to one of our investors today before I came on. And, and he was complimenting me. It was really nice. He just called me to compliment me. It was really a lovely call to get. I was like, okay, what do you need? What's the crisis? Like, I thank you for complimenting me. Give me the sandwich, right? Compliment, slam, sandwich. Right. Like, there's no sandwich. I just called you to say it was a really nice call. And, he was talking about my leadership and I said to him, I'm a better leader through this because I have the best leader I've ever had through this. Ben has been really, really great at shepherding me through this. He's helped me be calmer. He's helped give me some frameworks and guidelines that it didn't take long. After 5 or 7 days of him being really consistent with his coaching, that I found my behavior and my habits were changing. And so I wanted to kind of walk you through what some of those are. They're not all from Ben, but I'll share some of the ones that are from Ben. And right away, he was like, cash flow is everything. You need to monitor cash flow daily. We need to have, it is everything right now. We make daily decisions. We do not make weekly decisions. So my big thing to my team that they're tired of me doing, but I'm saying it every day. Well, today's Friday. We don't do Saturday things on Friday. We do Friday things on Friday. Right. Ask me on Saturday, and then I'll tell you what we're going to do on Saturday, right? Day by day. Yes, we're looking ahead to the future. Yes, I'm projecting company dollar for April. Yes, I'm doing all this stuff, but our actions and our activities and our decisions, we can't really make permanent decisions based on temporary and fleeting changes right now, right? So if it's okay, I'm going to walk you through some of the stuff that's been really helpful for me, and I'm hoping it'll be helpful to others. The first one I already said is this is a time to create, continue routine and consistency and certainty.
Yes.
During an uncertain time. Really, really important that you keep that going. Don't change too much right now. It's okay to change things. It really is. But if you are going to change them, I would ask you to consider being consistent and, calmly, like I always say, like hot knife through butter right now, right? Very focused, very, very focused. Number two, I want to remind us that our emotions are contagious. And yes, I'm using the word contagious on purpose. You have to stay positive. You have to be positive right now because people are going to feel it. If I'm having a bad day, the chances are a lot of my people are probably going to have a bad day because that stress is going to be transferred to them, right? This is a time to lie and fake it. I'm sorry, I'm going to say it out loud. If you are having a bad day, go sort it out, right? Go in your car, go take a break, go take a walk around the block, and you come back and you fake it.
Yeah.
There, I said it. I don't care if it's PC or not. You need to be positive for your people. I can genuinely tell you guys, I did turn a corner and I feel fantastic. I'm also not going to lie. There was many times I didn't feel great 2 or 3 weeks prior to that my team would not have known.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I would add to that, as a leader, having watched you behind the scenes, it's important to have your tribe. It's important to have the people that you can be your full, authentic self with behind the scenes so that you can show up for your team and your people and be positive.
Thanks for saying that, Christy. You're right. I should have said that. Part of faking it would not be healthy to stifle the anxiety and the fear and the breakdowns. I have had many confidential phone conversations with very prominent people that you're seeing all over the airways right now that have really big businesses. Christy's one of them, where we can privately break down together, for lack of a better word. But, everyone, we do that so that we can come out of it and be strong for our people. You want to also be careful that your tribe doesn't end up being a cesspool of negativity too, right? The purpose of this is to get it out, talk it through, and then to move on, right? Okay. We don't want a tribe that's going to constantly scare tactics, send us news reports every 30 seconds. We don't want that tribe.
No, they get blocked.
Yeah. Okay. This is a really important one. And I think it's where I think it's one of the biggest lessons and probably permanent habits that I'm going to glean and grow in my leadership from this. And this is really a direct effect of Ben Kinney's leadership. And for all of you who don't know Ben, I run 8 brokerages and I help with title, escrow, and mortgage on the leadership team. And Ben's our founder and CEO. And we have tech companies. We have quite a big empire in the real estate space. And one of the things Ben's been really instrumental in help shaping me over the last month is this concept of we don't have to make rapid fire decisions. Yes, we need to take decisive action quickly. Yes. But what does quickly mean? What Ben has really helped me do is he is just pushed back to the point where now I'm doing it naturally. Do not make decisions based on someone else's timelines. We hear input, we build in thinking time, we build in collaboration time, we build in discussion time, and we move quick enough, but we don't move rapid fire quickly, like, with our hair on fire. That is the best advice. It's been one of the best areas of growth I've had. So now my script, a lot of the times when I'm getting rapid fire, here's a good example. I have a specific example. Our MLS sent a directive. I don't even know what day anymore. I'm losing my days. Yeah. Sent a directive one day and they said all open houses, public and broker open houses, are hereby, there's no way to put them on the MLS. We've pulled all ability to advertise in them. So they effectively closed open houses down. And out of anything that's happened, I think my phone blew up the most from that. Agents far and wide, they were emailing me, they were texting me, what does this mean? Does this mean open houses are counting? So I, as a leader, was feeling the pressure to issue a statement. Right. A company-wide statement. Now that's a good instinct. And that's what, Ben talked me off the ledge. I'm like, we got to do it now. We got to do it now. Everyone's blowing up my phone. This is a big deal. And he was like, your instincts for a statement are good instincts. Okay. How we execute it, however, needs to be slowed down. Okay. Here's the thing. It was like a Monday. Are there going to be any open houses, most likely on a Tuesday or Wednesday or Thursday? Well, no, I don't think so, right? He's like, what other information? We have another press conference today from, I think it was a Trump press conference day. He's like, what other information might we get today that we also need to wrap into this and communicate, right? I'm like, oh yeah, well, I don't know. What if we get told to shelter in place, right? He goes, yeah, I want you to, let's think about it. We're gonna sit on this, and we're going to wake up in the morning and we're going to issue, a statement and a directive, and it's going to be thought through, and you can certainly draft it out. But today is Monday. We make Monday actions and decisions on Monday, and tomorrow's Tuesday. It feels like a Tuesday thing. And he really slowed me down on that. And it was the right move, because other factors that come into place. And so did we respond within 6 or 12 hours? It was really quick. Yes. But it wasn't within 30 minutes, and that was okay. And a 30-minute response, and I've done a couple of those mistakes, by the way, over the last month, one of them recently, and it was the wrong thing to do. I responded too quickly in an effort to help our people. It was too quick. So the big, huge thing is, yes, take decisive action quickly, but build in some thinking time and some white space and some calm, and talk to someone about it.
Yeah. I think when we're in crisis mode, our focus goes from this to this. And what that causes is time to feel like it's taking so much time. So where an answer in 6 hours would normally be like, awesome, I'm so glad I heard back from you. Now we're like looking at our watch every minute. Have you made a decision? So yeah. I like what you said, to build in that breathing time, thinking time. That's really good.
Yeah. And, my specific example, and, maybe it is 2 hours, but whatever it is, we need to resist the urge to be reactionary all day, every day, right? We need to be mindful of what our focus is, what our, we want to keep our main thing, the main thing right now, which actually leads me into my next thing. You have to get very simple. So you have to deliver a very, very, very simple, clear directive, very simple, clear directive to your people all the time. So in the past, I would have said you have to deliver a vision. Right now, it is a constant reminder of what our priorities are every day, multiple times a day, every phone call, every text, every interaction. Remember, health is our number one. And our number two is keeping our agents productive so that they can survive financially. Because most of our agents cannot afford to not be without, the full-time agents cannot afford to not be without closings for a couple months, right? So I'm constantly bringing them back to that, and myself constantly every day. I look at my priorities and what I'm doing. I talk to my team leaders, we look at theirs, and it's just this constant deliver a very simple, we have a 3-point, that's it, 3 points, constantly drilling in. These are your 3 focuses, nothing else. All non-essentials are scraped. No one has anything going on but these 3 things, right?
Yeah, well, and that's a huge thing too, right? Especially for real estate agents. So that's been something that I've been really drilling, right? Because I've been like, we don't want to be perceived either as agents as like, oh, there's Linzee Ciprani who shows homes and has no protocol or anything laid out, right? And that was something that we started pushing on, especially in our company with helping others. Like, we have to elevate. We've got to be professional, and we've got to be clear and simple and have steps like, hey, we're going to do this and we're going to do that. And we're going to have gloves and masks and booties. And for right now, that's what we're going to do to keep people safe while we're still doing those things, right? And so I know you guys have been dealing with that. I mean, that's been an hour by hour change, a day by day change, and everything. So I love that he kept bringing you back to Monday decisions are made on Monday, like that. It's truthful, yeah.
Yeah. And Linzee, you bring up a good point, especially here. I mean, you cannot over communicate right now. You guys, internal and external, to your clients, if you're a real estate agent, our agents who are thriving right now are in an over communicating mode to their clients. They are the delivery vehicle of all information right now, real estate. I literally, the motto and the mantra that we have in our ELT, in our, executive leadership team is, you cannot over communicate. We have our agents, every conversation that gives us a litmus test on what's happening in the market, text us. Just text us constantly. If we're not getting constant text from you, you're probably not looping us in enough, right? So, kind of creating that that mantra right now about how important. I would much rather have, I made a mistake yesterday. I had a fail yesterday, and it was an over communication fail. Honestly, I sent too many emails out to our agents yesterday, and you know what? And I was with my assistant at the end of the day, and I go, hey, if we're going to fail forward right now, I want it to be an over communicating, not under.
Yeah. I would echo that, having been through multiple shifts since the 1980s. That is how we actually gained market share each time, was over communicating both with our team and with our clients. So again, me coming from the ops side of things, I would say, operations people, have you layered in additional communication into all your systems, whether that's your systems of communication with your team or with your sellers. So for example, have you layered up your listing systems so that you are setting your sellers up to ask you for price changes instead of you asking them for price changes? Just simple things like that.
Love that.
Yeah. So what we used to say is under promise and over deliver. And now I'm telling everyone, under promise, over deliver, and over communicate.
Over communicate. Yep.
Oh, I love that. I love that. That leads me into my next thing that I've really, really learned. And it kind of goes into a lot of what I've said. And that is, ask a lot of questions and get a feel and a read on the pulse from multiple people before you make a decision. I think early on, I would have one hysterical person and my natural, Ben, we got to do this. We got to do this. And I started realizing that now I'm doing a much better job of checking in with, so here's a good example. If you were going to ask me right now, and you can ask me, what's real estate doing in the Puget Sound and the greater Seattle and our area? What's it doing right now, right? The reason I can answer you pretty comfortably is that almost daily, I am texting agents from a 3-hour radius, so geographical radius. I have a group of agents, some that just do new construction, some that focus on condos, some that focus on investors, some that focus just on resale, sphere, whatever, right? I feel so comfortable that I have enough people that I'm getting a pulse and a temperature read from that I can probably give you a pretty good read. Now, if I was going to ask just one of those 10 or 12 people, that would just be one person's perspective. I can't make a policy or a directive based on that. So for all of us, even if we're running a team, right? What our top agents experience or our least experienced agent is feeling, and seeing, look at the data, number one, number two, ask a whole bunch of questions and just make sure that you're making decisions that are as factually based and as representative of everybody, involved as they can be. That's been a huge lesson for me. Not the loudest voice in the room.
I love that. One of the things that Stephanie Brackett on Anderson Hicks group is doing is she has set up a boomerang email. It goes out to all of their lenders, all of their title companies and attorneys on a daily basis, asking what has changed, if anything, since yesterday.
Oh, I love that.
Out once a day, and then at each day, once a day, they recap to their team.
Yeah, which has been really neat to watch some of that kind of stuff. I think I love that these are directives that you guys have taken, Vija, because, what I think a lot of people have found, and we have a million questions coming up too, but I think, the government, in a lot of cases, that has not been clear, and it hasn't been a clear directive by any means. There are times, even today, when our leadership team sat on and we were like, does this just mean that we're just supposed to close our offices, or can we not have closings? And I mean, that causes such mass hysteria and nobody really knows.
Okay, so let's talk about that though right now. Okay, this is why communication is important. So on a one-on-one basis, let's go back to my MLS example story. And you can substitute anything that's happening. I responded back to people really quickly. Hey, you guys were aware. Thank you so much. Keep us posted. Keep the text coming. I copied and pasted my response. You know, keep going. We're working on it. We want to just kind of wait and see for a little bit how this is going to play out. Okay. So they were getting a quick response from me.
Yeah.
Right? What I wasn't doing was a knee jerk, you know, company policy based on 20 minutes of data and understanding.
Right.
So I want you to hear what I'm saying on that. And Linzee, you just reminded me of the most important thing that I probably should have started with, because it's what I say to myself, like literally every 15 minutes. Focus on what you can control right now.
Yeah.
It's everything. That is everything. That's the universal tenet. I sort of internalize that because Ben Kinney's he has a control triangle, has a control pyramid, and it's just been ground into me. Like, okay, every time that anxiety comes up or whatever, I'm like, okay, what can I control right now? Today is Friday. I make Friday decisions on Friday, not Saturday decisions. What can I control and what actions can I take today, right now? And it's a really grounding mindset to have right now. And it for me, it really, it's really calmed me down. I feel really great right now. I mean, I'm nervous. I'm scared. I have anxiety just because I care for my people so much. And I don't want anybody to be without income, but actually, you know, focusing on everything we're talking about has been really, really helpful. I mean, it goes without saying, like, you just need to pour into your people. You may not know what the heck you're doing right now. You just do nothing, spend all day pouring into your people. And for us that have brokerages and teams and your agents and your clients, you can't go wrong.
Yeah.
Doing that. So can I add one more thing before you guys ask me questions or other people ask questions? It's just on a personal note, really important to me. There are two types of people right now I'm finding, okay? One of them is like John Legend and Christy Teigen, who are like at home in their bathrobes, doing live performances, making gourmet meals, complaining about quarantine. I mean, and I love them, and that's awesome. And then there's people like us, business owners, who are working 24/7. Yeah. There seems to be, you know, two different types of people. For those of us in the business world who are in that camp, who are genuinely trying to keep our businesses afloat during this time, loop your family in, right? Let your family know. Don't shield it. You need to be age appropriate, but we have very candid discussions every night. They know, I'm like, hey guys, I want you guys to know that, we're slashing a whole bunch of expenses because I'm anticipating, this and this, and this is how it's going to affect you. And, mommy's had a really long, tough day today. I'd love to just not have as many words tonight. I said that sentence a few times. And then some nights I'm like, let's go on the deck and talk for an hour, right? Because my poor 16-year-old's driving us bonkers. He's been like holed up all day. And then I get home and he's just talking. So, but loop your family in. I think it's really important to just be real with them and have honest conversations, not fear-based, make sure they're appropriate, but don't forget to explain to them what you're doing every day, who you're talking to when they see you on Zoom, and just making sure that they are, this is a watershed event in our world. This is a history making event, and our kids are part of it, and they're going to look back on this time, and they're going to tell their grandkids and great grandkids about it. And how we show up as parents is going to be part of that. Do we show up really fearful and anxious, or do we say, hey, this is what mom's doing today, this is what dad's doing today, I'm leading the charge. We're there's awesome things happening. We every night we say gratefuls at dinner, and we've switched it to silver linings. What's the silver lining about staying home today? What was the silver lining, right? I've got my 19-year-old home from college, which, we could choose to be sad. We're choosing to be super excited that we get to spend more time with him when he should be in Texas,
Yeah. Well,
I think all the things you just shared with us, the steps you just went through, are also applicable to our family, right? So consistency, predictability. Have you created your new normal with your family, your new routine? Kids thrive on routine. Are we in constant communication with them? All the same things you just went through apply to our families.
Yeah. Well, and I have a 5 and a 7-year-old, right? So life looks very different and very strange right now. And every time they come in the door and they're like, who are you talking to now? Because we're on Zoom all day with my teams, right? Like, we are just working on Zoom and we talk and then we mute. And, but I think it is, they're aware that there's something going on and that, it's a little bit different. And yes, you're home from school and you just gotta give mommy the ability to have some of these conversations. And what would you say to people that, have the younger kids and just feel this guilt because they're in it and they are heavy in it, right?
Yeah, it's hard. I think it's hard with younger. So my youngest is 10 and my oldest is 19. So they're a little older. I think it's hard with really young kids because it's almost easier to exit and be in an office and work. It's hard for them to understand when they see you home and you kind of have to, you feel like you're blowing them off, right? Yeah. It's really tough. It's certainly as a mom, I get that. So that's why you have to be age appropriate. And I've always done it though. I've always explained to my kids, hey, mommy doesn't have to work. Mommy loves working. I am blessed that we live in a world where I get to go do this. I love what I do and I love you too. And, you're going to go spend time with, this person or go over here because, this house we live in and all the play dates you go on, that's part of how we pay for that. Even a 5-year-old, I've had those conversations with my kids. They know that, when I was more active in sales, you sold a home today. That's what mommy and daddy do to fund our lives. They've kind of understood that from a really young age. So yeah. I get it. I don't know if I have a magic button, Lindsay, and a magic answer other than the simple default I have, is whenever I don't know what to do, I go back to authenticity and transparency and communication. So that's my answer.
I love that.
So I would encourage, one of the questions that I'm getting a lot from people is, since we've gone to home working, and I would say, and I coach nationwide, Linzee consults nationwide, I would say probably 75 to 80% of our people are working from home. There's a challenge with, we now have a new cadence of communication. We need to talk about what is our new cadence of communication, because what I'm seeing happen is ops people at home with little kids and team owners, entrepreneurs, I'm a business owner too, like in overdrive to keep our businesses afloat. And there's this pressure of wanting the people available 24/7, and they're trying to give everything they have. And at the same time, they've got a 3-year-old and a 1-year-old, literally in their lap while they're working. So I think the communication and what is our new cadence of communication? How do we do that? When do we do that? What does that look like? Is an important discussion for people to have.
I think that is I'm so glad you brought that up, Christy, because number one, it makes me think that, do I have that awareness good enough right now? Like, that was a really smart comment. The other thing that strikes me about that is that, we just have to be okay with kids and dogs and backgrounds. I went up to Bellingham, last Thursday, and it was with Ben when he addressed our companies, and we were kind of sitting there and I'm like, I think we just need to be okay letting them bring their kids to work, or, just having kids in the background of the Zoom. The whole world has their kids home with them right now or whatever. And so, you just have to, as a company and as a leader, you just have to be okay that, everybody you talk to is going to probably have kids and dogs in the shot. I'm surprised, Lindsay.
And it may take them 15 minutes to answer the phone when normally they would text you back immediately. Mm-hmm. Yeah, just
really smart comment, and it's going to make me think. I'll probably think a lot about that. Like, are our expectations in alignment with what they're experiencing at home? That's really good. Thank you for that.
Good question.
Yeah, it is a good question, because there's a lot. A lot of us feel like we are not nearly as productive with all of that happening too, right? And then comes that guilt. and that stress of like, oh, they're going to get mad at me and I'm not doing enough, and or am I doing enough? And that's a hard
Here's the thing, but let's go back to productivity. And here's what I think is really important right now. You know, I keep going back to our simple directive. We have a 3-point focus. That's it. That's the only focus our entire ELT has. And so I am constantly thinking about productivity, and I'm like, all right, if it's not in that 3-point focus, then it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. And so, you know, this is a time where we have to be super in tune to our priorities. And as leaders, we need to be making sure we're communicating that to our team. Being a good leader isn't having a good idea. It's acting upon an idea. I was just listening to Andy Stanley's leadership podcast, is one of my favorites. And I was listening to one the other night, and he said something that I think is relevant to this. He goes, look, no one cares who came up with the idea for the home computer. What everybody knows is that like Steve Jobs and Bill Gates acted to put him on our every desk. Whether they came up with the idea or not doesn't really matter. The fact is they acted, and they mobilized a company to get him on every desk. It's action that matters, right? So, I mean, you know, we have to know what actions to take on a Friday, because it's Friday. We do Friday stuff on Friday. So we have to know what actions to take on a Friday based on our priorities. And we need to constantly be reminding ourselves and our people. We can't keep these ideas in our heads when we're leaders. If we're an individual producer, we can. But if we have anybody that we're leading, we have to be communicating that all the time. Everybody has to know what everybody else's priorities are so that we can hold them accountable, hold ourselves accountable right now.
Hey, there's a question that just popped up. What is the 3-point focus? Because I think we just said that. Can you talk through that real quick?
Yeah, I don't know. First of all, as a caveat, I don't know if it's relevant. You know, I think that it's probably specific to every business, you know. So keeping in mind, you know, we run brokerages, and our number one focus and concern is on our agents' health, well-being, and productivity. For me, so I lead leaders.
Yeah.
So I lead the leaders that lead the brokerage. I always call myself the grandparent, which I don't like calling myself that anymore because I had a certain birthday. But anyway, I know. So I'm now in a position where I'm kind of one removed from being directly impacting, but. So for us, it's number one is health and safety, and we review that every day. Number two is our agents' productivity, protecting their livelihood right now, doing whatever it takes to get our agents paid so that they can pay their rents and their mortgages. That drives all of us right now. And then the third is growth. And the reason that's important is I could tell you another story. And it has to do with my when I turned a corner on Wednesday. I was so I think probably feeling a reactionary and a little anxious inside up to Wednesday that while I think we were all doing a good job, I think I was doing fine. When I turned my corner and I walked back into the office after that walk, I reviewed the 3 directives again. I'm like, I kind of forgot about growth for a few weeks. Kind of forgot that we have to have something to come back to. We have to think about the rebound a little bit. Yeah, it's Wednesday. I make Wednesday decisions on Wednesday, but I also have to look to the future a little bit. And so it kicked me into gear. I pulled the team leaders together at 8:15 on a call on everything's remote, right? On a call Thursday morning, and issued them a huge challenge yesterday. And then we came together again this morning to talk about it. And everyone was like, it was almost like a relief to remind ourselves that that's what, that we have to still focus on growth. It was almost like a business as normal kind of a feeling, really help mobilize everybody. So don't forget about business growth. That's anything revenue generating right now, right? Protect your people, number one. So our number 1 and 2 are focused on protecting our people, health and safety and agent productivity. But number 3, growth for us means different things than it could mean for other people. But for a real estate agent or team, it would be sales. For a consulting company, it would Christy and Linzee, it would just be getting new clients and maintaining your current clients. It'd be retention right now, right?
Yeah, same thing. Yep. Sales and lead gen, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
All the good stuff.
Yeah.
Let's, I know we do have the questions about, the cutting people, and we kind of said we'd come back to that. Yeah. So I feel like we do need to. What is your advice around that? Because, and I love that you're going to say probably that today's Friday, so we're going to deal on Friday to some extent, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yes, I am going to say that. I am going to say that please hear me. We need to be anticipating what's going to come down though. Okay. This isn't, we need to be very, very cognizant of that. So, the number one thing that everybody should be doing right now that we are telling everybody to do is to reduce expenses brutally. Our people are the last. So I mean brutally. I mean in your business and your personal. Here's the good news. Let's pretend it's overblown. Let's just pretend 60 or 90 days, everything's back to normal. That's fantastic. That's great. We add things back. That's wonderful. But one of the lessons I personally learned in the last downturn, and any of us, who have been through the last downturn, if you ask most people what their number one regret is, for me anyway, it was that I didn't reduce expenses quickly enough and drastically enough.
Yeah.
And so you have to be brutal right now. So I say that because you need to do a gut check. If you're thinking about laying people off, my question is, have you been brutal, in other directions? And by the way, and I am not saying this because it's you guys, coaching is not the thing to cut right now. I would say that those of you getting coaching are probably the ones that are going to weather this storm. It is just not the thing to cut right now. So do not cut your CRM,
No.
But, cut lead gen sources, cut online internet leads. There's a whole bunch of other things you can cut, right? We are going to have layoffs. There is 100% certainty that every single sector, unless you're manufacturing Purell, unless your name's Amazon, or if you're a toilet paper manufacturer, you're going to be 99% of sectors will be laying off, right? What I'm hoping is 99% of sectors are going to rehire. It's inevitable. It's like, it's like not talking about death. You have to talk about it. It's going to happen.
Yeah. How long do you wait for that? Because that's going to be, what does that look like?
All of us listening, if you're listening to this, you have a heart for your people. I've made some personal decisions to make sure that, I can ensure that my people are continuing to get a paycheck at a, sacrifice to myself. And I think most leaders are making the same decisions. I can't answer that for you. What I can say is that we are called to do really tough things as leaders. And I trust you. If you're watching this and it's, going through your head, I trust you. I would urge you to have a coach or a mentor or someone that you can talk this through with. Don't make decisions on your own. Don't be autonomous right now. This isn't a time to be autonomous. This is a time to get outside counsel. It can be alone, being an entrepreneur, make sure that you have people that are giving you sound advice, not too optimistic, not too devastating. And I can't tell everybody whether they should lay people off or not, but I can say that you're not alone if you are. It's just a reality.
Right now is a great time to have the conversations. It's going to be more meaningful, these conversations, than we've ever had before with your staff. And that is that now is the opportunity to shine. If you are a staff member, now is the opportunity to show your employer that you are an investment, not an expense, right?
100%. If you can generate revenue.
We need to give results. Are we giving results? We are not just maintaining, we are not protecting, we are now responsible for revenue. We are lead generating, we are making sure our systems are producing income, we are making sure that we're retaining people, all of those things. So it's not just up to the entrepreneur and the owner, it's up to all of us to step up and shine at this time and to show our employers, this is why you need to keep us. I want to add just what Gary Keller said on Monday. He said, get brutal on expenses, learn to live on less now. protect your staff and your people, but cut anything else you can. I'm loving seeing the leaders around the country who are sitting down with their staff members one by one and going through bank statements and helping them cut expenses, because sometimes we need that outside bounce on what we should cut or not cut.
Yeah, Christy, I want to just amplify what you just said. Really, really well said. And we are, let's talk about those conversations. We are having very direct, real conversations that aren't panic stricken. They're not, you know, whatever with our people. You need to let your people know that all jobs are on the line, including the founders, including the CEOs. All of our livelihoods are on the line right now. And it's important that more than ever that they show up. You know, I want to talk directly to the ops people that are watching this. You know, you can be revenue generating by being expense cutting Jedis, and by you know, and by helping and supporting your everyone. You know, you can be revenue generating in different ways from getting on the phone. With that said, everybody needs to be revenue generating right now. Everybody, right? So so having real dialogues, I couldn't agree with you more about making sure that this is the time where you need to show up and be super, super valuable to everybody. But it's not even about that. There are some really well-meaning business owners who, you could be the best employee in the world, there are going to be layoffs.
Well, and you know, I want to go back to being really, really clear too, and with your communication, right? Just because there is a layoff doesn't mean it could be a temporary layoff, right? And so if people are going down that direction and have to, there has to be such clear communication around, what does this look like? We're talking every day, we'll figure it out. It might even look like we're all going to work and not take a paycheck for 2 weeks, and we're
going to go down to minimum wage to keep benefits potentially.
Whatever it is. There's a lot of different conversations you can have, but you have to have the conversations with your people and trust them enough to have those conversations, or else you have bad communication and then it's a bad situation on the other end, right?
Yeah, amen. Yeah, for sure.
Oh my goodness, we have so many questions still. So you know what? If you had to wrap this up, we've got 4 minutes. I'm going to go through the questions, and so is Christy. But if you had to wrap some of this up with, you know, what is one thing that you would tell everybody that is, I think a lot of us are peaking where you guys were peaked like 2 or 3 weeks ago, maybe. What would you say right now that, like, how do we calm the storm?
Daily. Focus on what you can control, right? Slow down a little bit. We want to be fast. We want to be decisive, but slow down a little bit. Give yourself breathing room. Leaders, please recharge. Don't do what I did when this started and burn yourself out. I was on a dangerous path. You know, get your sleep, turn your phone off, turn the news off at a certain point. Be with your families, get some vitamin D on your face. All the people in the Sun Belt are like, what is she talking about? I live in Seattle. Like, the sun's out, I need to go stick my face in it. Mm-hmm. So, you know, go recharge and you know, take some deep breaths. We're going to all get through this together. The entire planet has shut down. So the trickle down and the trickle up effect are such that, you know, if you can't pay your lease for, you know, either can any other tenant, most likely, right? So you take comfort in that, you know, and reach out to people who are going to help you, you know, talk you off the ledge when you need it.
If you've been listening to us live, I think a lot of people are going to be circling back, watching this later. We talked at the beginning about mindset, family, team, and business. I would love you guys to post your ahas down below and give us the one thing that you are going to take action on. Action cures anxiety, that Vija said, because she's shared so much great stuff with us. And that way other people can learn from it too.
Well, and I think it's so important to remember that we're all in this together, right? And the more we can do this, and the more we can talk, and the more we can support each other as entrepreneurs and people that are in small businesses going through all of this, I think the better that we're going to be, because at the end of the day, this is happening, you know, to us all, or should we say for us all. And it is for us all, right? I think really good things are going to come out of this with our earth and all kinds of things. So it's just a matter of focusing on those things and focusing on what we can control and do in the moment. And I really think, Vija, like you've given us so much here. We're so thankful for you coming on today. We know how busy you are. Like it's hard for you to get away for an hour. And so thank you so much for doing this.
And you guys should see my phone right now, just being here with you, how many text messages, it's insane.
I love it. We had more people watching live today than ever before, that's
because they're stuck at home.
And they are. And you know what? Leadership is really needed right now. And I think that people are missing and needing leadership all over the place. And so we had a true leader on today because we really needed it. And
thank you guys. It's my honor to be here. I feel my heart is heavy for leaders right now. And it's also optimistic and hopeful too. You know, this is a time where we can shine and our teams I'm inspired every day. And so that's what I want to leave with, right? These are incredibly encouraging, optimistic and hopeful times as well.
Yeah.
Awesome. Totally agree. Thank you guys for joining us.
Thank you. And give us questions. We'll answer them. Bye.
Bye.